Alright class, today we're doing topic 10-4, more proofs, using side, 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 side angle, side, and angle, side, angle. This is just a continuation of what we were doing in our last topic, 10-3, with nothing new. So these are the steps you would follow in our proofs. Using the givens, we want to label our picture. Your first statement is your first given statement. The reason is simply given. Hey, they gave it to you. That's all that we need to know. Then we want to reach a congruency statement. This is the hard step. It's not terribly hard, but it's a step that actually requires a little bit of thought. Then you continue with your next given and repeat step 3 again. Now, if we continue this and we do not have 3 congruencies, we want to look for a shared side. We will look for a shared angle, maybe a vertical angle. Okay? We just want to go ahead and try to pull our congruencies. Now your last statement is the proof statement. And the reason is going to be either side, 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 angle, side, or angle, side, angle. Again, for now. In future proofs, we may not use these statements. We may need to use something else. Let's go ahead and take a look at example number 1. We're going to start off by labeling our picture. They tell us that B is the midpoint. That means that those two are congruent. They say that BD is parallel to AE. And then they told us that BD is congruent to AE. Well, let's go ahead and start. The first is our first given. B is the midpoint of AC. The reason was, hey, they gave it to us, so it is given. Well, knowing that's that, we went ahead and marked it. We said that AB is congruent to BC. And the reason is that our definition of that word midpoint. We've got a congruency statement. Use the first given. Moving on. We say that BD is parallel to AE. So I know that this line and this line are parallel. I'm going to go ahead and extend these. And let's see if we can come up with something. Well, I've got 2 parallel lines cut by a transversal. And so I see that angle 1 and angle 2, well, these are corresponding angles. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 because we have parallel lines and corresponding angles. It appears I forgot to fill in this one. This was something that was told to us, so it is also just a given. Here we have our congruency, and we're done. Let's go ahead and look. Now we say that BD is congruent to AE, well, that was just given to us. We've got three congruency statements. Let's see if they mean anything. Well, I've got a side, some angles, and another pair of sides. Well, side angle side happens to be one of the things that we talked about. So I can use side angle side to show that use the statement they told us that triangle ABE is congruent to triangle BCD. Moving on. Example number 2. Well, they tell us that BA is perpendicular with YZ. That means that I've got a pair of 90-degree angles. They've also gone and said that BA, well, it bisects. That means it cuts these in half. No, it doesn't bisect the side. We're bisecting not the side, we are bisecting the angle. So that means that this angle and this angle are the same. And now we want to prove. Well, we'll start with our first given, that BA is perpendicular to YZ. That was given to us. Hey, because we know the perpendicular, we know that angle 1 and angle 2 are 90 degrees. That's just the definition of perpendicular. Hey, if we know that 1 and 2 are both 90, that means we know that 1 is congruent to 2. And that's simply the definition of that congruency statement. So we've got our first congruency. Well, next we said that BA, well, that bisects YBZ. Well, they gave that to us. Well, that means that angle 3 and is congruent to angle 4. That's the definition of that bisect word. We've got our congruency. Need something else. Well, I have a shared side right here. So AB, well, it's got to be congruent with itself. AB, that's that reflexive property that we were using yesterday. I've got my three congruencies. Let's see what I have. I've got angles, sides, and angles. And so I know that triangle AYB is congruent to triangle AZB because they gave it. That's what the proof statement is. Looking at our last example, we'll go ahead and mark it. They told us that BA, well, you're congruent with ED. BA is also parallel with ED. And C is the midpoint of AD. So let's go ahead and start. BA congruent to ED. That was given. And it's our congruency statement. So we move on. BA parallel to ED. That was also given to us. But now I've got to use it. I've got a transversal cut by two parallel lines cut by a transversal, and I see that this angle right here, angle A, and this angle right here, angle D, well, they're alternate interior angles. Angle A is congruent to angle D because they're alternate interior angles. Got my congruency statement. Moving on. We'll see is the midpoint of AD. They gave that to us, and we marked it on our page. We said that AC is congruent to CD. That's the definition of that word, midpoint. There are three congruency statements. Let's see what we have. We have sides, we have angles, we have side. The angle is in between, so we have side, angle, side. And so we can write that triangle BAC is congruent to triangle EDC. And that's it. This is topic 10-2. Good luck working on your assignment.